Good morning, everybody. Take two. It usually takes me 2 times to get this right. Anyway, my name is Colleen Light, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Then I come to you from Southwest Washington. So, small town in Southwest Washington, so there's some big news in Stampin' Up!, and that's that they offered more to celebrate. So if you're not familiar with Celebration, you can actually earn free products with a qualifying order. And I'll go into a little bit more of that as we get our video going. It's always fun to talk about the Stampin' Up! Stuff when I am, getting my laptop up and getting all my supplies out. Anyway, I got up a little bit late this morning. So if you are in your craft area and you have some designer series paper available and some cardstock, I think you could make this card with me today. We're just going to be doing a very simple gatefold card. It's easy, it's fun, it's a little wow, but it comes together so quickly. I'm using 2 of the Celebration products today, so please stay with me. I'm going to show you some samples. I'm going to turn you around quickly. Set you up so I can see some comments. While I do that, I want you to take a peek at these new products. So Celebration, if you spend $50 or $100, you can earn free products. And that is just the neatest thing. And the ones that came out yesterday, like this Kindness Cards kit, and then you have the Let's Party treat packaging kit. I have this ribbon, the frayed ribbon, love it. There's punches, there's embossing folders, there's masks, designer series paper, and then the Eden's Garden bundle if you spend $100 or more. So all of that is so neat. I'm not a really good salesperson, but I have to say that I just always want you to be aware because I want you to get the biggest bang for your buck. We all want the best value for our money. Oh, good morning, Tammy and Kathy. Glad you're here. Oh, and Kathy, thanks so much for sharing. So let's get to some of these samples, and then we'll work on our card. So these are the ones I made earlier in the week. I have a YouTube video from Monday that goes into that demonstrates how I made this one for a very happy birthday. Very simple, but I love it. I love simple cards. In my heart, I am a simple stamper. And then here are 2 of the sympathy cards. I need some sympathy cards, so there's 2 of those. I made this one, which is one of my favorite folds, and I have a blog post showcasing some different, oh my goodness, I can't talk this morning, different designer series paper. But I just love how this comes together, sending happy thoughts. And this is today's fun fold. So this is just a very easy gatefold card. We open it up. I don't normally adhere the insides of my cards until I write on them. But it's ready to go. And then we just put the little band back over. It takes very few supplies. Most of you who followed me for any length of time know that I like to chop up all of my designer series paper and use it because I like to order new things. So I am a big believer in chopping it and using it. So this is the Dainty Flowers 12 by 12 designer series paper, and I want you to see where it's at. It's right here on page 6 in the Celebration mini brochure. I have fallen in love with this. For those of you who have followed me for any length of time, you know that I like easy projects. It's kind of the nature. I do a lot of craft shows, so I like to have, and we have a large family, so I always need a stockpile of cards available. So this, you can see, is kind of just all chopped up, which is exactly how I like it. I think it's fun. I know some people, the paper's so pretty that it's hard to sometimes cut it up. What I like about this piece, and what I want you to notice, is how it looks textured. It almost looks like I have embossed it, but I have not. On the back side, you have watercolor. This is such a mess, but look at the starry sky. So you could really even use this. Doesn't have to be floral. Not everything needs to be floral. You can use this for a masculine card. And of course, Fresh Fraser is retiring with the new catalog, and it's probably been my most favorite color, especially You know, my husband probably calls me once a day, and I've been doing videos at 9 o'clock in the morning on Thursdays for a long time, and he just can't seem to remember it. I am sure everyone who has a long-term relationship out there understands exactly what I'm talking about. We can all relate, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get this going. I'm going to be using the Blushing Bride today, and I did have, oh, where are my measurements? Here they are. So I like to kind of get my measurements printed out for you, but I don't know what happened here. I have no idea why it printed so large, but if you want to screenshot it, you can. If not, I'll have it over on my blog for you by the end of the day. I did change the bottom dimensions for the designer series paper. So that is of note if you are screenshotting it. That part is in pencil. And again, my printer, I tell you, I have no idea what happens sometimes with me and electronics. Okay, let's go ahead and cut our card base. Like I said, I got up early, so nothing's ready to go. So we're gonna do this together. So we want this just, you know, the top of our card base is 8.5, right? So we're gonna flip this around and cut at 5.5. So just write down, so you'll get 2 cards. You'll get 2 cards out of it. Then we're gonna score. So move this cutting blade out of your way. The blades are 2 different colors. The darker one is your cutting blade. The lighter one is your scoring blade. And if I'm too close, let me know. Hey, Wendy, hi. If I'm too close to the screen, let me know. I've had a little bit of a time getting things set up, but you know, Lucy was trying to eat half of if you don't know, Lucy's our lab puppy. She was trying to eat everything as I was working along here this morning, so I had to scooch her out. I don't think there's a piece of paper that she does not love. So 2 1/8, that's what I did. And then I just rotated my paper around 2 1/8. That's it. That's it for this piece. And we're gonna go ahead and score this. And we're gonna bring the rest of our things in, and we will go ahead and get those ones cut. But let me show you how we score this. Just so easy. And that is a gatefold. That's it. You just make it meet in the middle. Doesn't get too much easier than that, does it? Okay. So I want to bring it back in the Blushing Bride. And I'm going to grab another piece here because I wanted to cut my band. Could you even hear me? I turned away. Anyway, I want to cut my band at 1 inch here. Let's see here. So let's go 1 inch. Might as well get everything cut now. 1 inch by 9.5. So I'm going to scooch this here. Let me come back in the screen here. So that was 1 inch by 9.5. There we go. So that's our band. Let's get out our designer series paper. So I want this color behind it. It's not Blushing Bride, is it? Yes, it is. It is Blushing Bride. Okay. So I want to cut this part at 1 7/8, just like this, and 5 1/4. That's what I wanted. Did I want 5 1/4? Oops, wrong ones. That's the other one. That's why. All right, we want this piece because this is going behind. This is what happens when you don't get enough sleep. And 5 3/8. So we're going to bring this here and cut this at 5 3/8. So that's this little notch behind the 1/2 inch. And you can actually, if you're not good with measurements, you can print a little how to read a ruler right off of Pinterest. They have that available, and I think I have it on my website too. Sometimes I get in such a hurry, you know how we all do. I stop and I have to think now, where was that at? What am I doing? So anyway, since we cut this one, we started it, now we're gonna go 5 1/4. So I would say that if you sometimes struggle with measurements, I would say the best thing to do would be to cut off, you know, to just go to Pinterest or look up how to read a ruler and go ahead and print that off and keep it taped to your craft room wall. So it's just another resource available that is for you. Oh, I didn't cut the inside panel. Let's grab a piece of basic white. Like I said, I usually have all of this done in advance, but I overslept this morning, which is not like me at all. Normally I'm up with, you know, up early. It's still dark and the weather's been frosty and cold, and I don't know what happened. All right, we're just gonna bring this and get this inside panel done. And we're gonna stamp on that. I'm gonna grab another sheet of another scrap of basic white, I should say, because we're gonna do some die cutting. So let's go ahead and do some stamping real quick. And I like a richer color for our stamps, and that's why I'm using this rich raspberry. I like a little bit more of a pop with my sentiments. And I've been really on this rich raspberry kick lately. It's kind of become my favorite instead of, you know, like the Memento. For a long time was my favorite, but I'm really just totally in love with this rich raspberry lately. Do you all ever do that? Just kind of get hooked on a color and that's the one you use for the whole week. So I have the Sending Happy Thoughts, but I think this time I'm going to do for a feeling better kind of day, because I don't have a lot of get well cards either. So let's see here if I can pull that one out of here. So what I love about this, these are a 2-layer stamp set. So that means you can stamp this image in your solid color. You can stamp off in a different color, and these will actually fill in your images. So if you want to color these, you sure can, but it just makes it so easy to create a beautiful card without a lot of work. And that is, you know, somebody said to me the other day, they said, I'm looking for the right block. Anyway, they said, I just don't have time to make cards. And that is why I have been focusing on these easy cards all week, because I want people who are creative and want a creative outlet to see how you can make a beautiful and thoughtful handmade card to send out to your loved ones, friends, family, co-workers. Sometimes I leave them if I haven't used this yet, so I want to see how it goes. Sometimes I'll leave them when we go out to eat, especially if we get exceptional service, which I have had the good fortune of having lately every time we go out. You know, to leave a little something extra, hoping to make somebody's day. And I think that's actually where that little kit that's now on Celebration, the Kindness Cards kit, that would be perfect. Those are small cards, and it would be absolutely perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna grab this paper pumpkin block because I need a small one. I'm going to show you here, we're gonna grab one of these little flower images here. Oh, which I think I might already have on a block. Maybe not, let me see. I thought I maybe left that one. I did, and it's somewhere on my desk. We'll find it. Or, you know what, let's not worry about it. I think maybe we'll just go ahead. You know, I really want that other one. I'm gonna look around for it. It's here. It'll pop up as we put the card together, and then we can do the inside. It'll pop up, and if not, I'll just finish that. Oh, here it is. I knew it would pop up. Anyway, for the inside of our card, I'm gonna again take the rich raspberry, and I'm just going to pop this flower right down there. Can you see just that little bit of extra? Just a little bit of extra, and I just love it. Okay, so now let's assemble our card, and we will get this going. I'm gonna start with this, and then I'm gonna, once I get these glued, I'm going to go ahead and die cut our sentiment. But I wanna have these kind of in place. So make sure when you are working with, like, because I use the one sheet, so it all looks very similar. So make sure that you grab the one that is cut smaller. And I'm not saying that like in a patronizing way. I'm saying that because I have made that mistake. So any mistake I made that you will hear me say now, make sure your pattern goes in the right direction, or make sure that, I got a little bit extra glue there, or make sure that, you know, you grab the smaller piece. It is for no other reason that I myself have made that mistake. So there we go. This has a little bit of ridge on it, so I'm just going to take my bone folder and get those ridges down. And you can see this actually looks like it's almost embossed. This paper is absolutely gorgeous. So I hope you all are having a good Thursday. I love to hear what you're working on, what you're doing, if you are doing any fun folds, and what your favorite fun fold is. I am going to say that I am going to have a lot of strips. Have you seen those strippy cards? You know, where you line your strips out in either starburst pattern or a different pattern. Since I am going to have so much extra of this paper left, that will be my bonus blog on Saturday. Is I will detail how to cut that and take some pictures, and maybe I'll do a just record a video. I don't know. Anyway, so this is going to be a very kind of pinkish color. But pink is one of my favorite colors, so I am a-okay with that. Again, I'm going to make sure that we have everything, both patterns, going the same direction. And then we're going to do some die cutting, which again, I normally have done in advance for you, but not today. But it's kind of fun to craft together. Well, I think it's fun. All right. Yeah, Tammy, I did need to sleep. Hi, Mary Ellen. The stamp set is actually from Celebration. It's one you can earn, Kathy, with a $100 qualifying order. And good morning, Joan. All right, so this is, again, our inside panel, which I might have cut a little too long. I'll zip it down. Anyway, that's it. So let's get our die cutting machine out. I'm going to grab my mini, so it's not so much there. Let me grab this. Has anyone ordered the boho, got the starter kit, ordered the boho color? I have not yet, and I keep saying yet because I'm very much on the fence. Oh, this, I don't need to cut this down anymore. My goodness, this one is right. Anyway, this is the one I want to die cut. Anyway, has anyone gotten the boho? Do you just love the color? I'm really interested to hear everybody's opinion on it. Okay, so these are from the Stylish Shapes. Oh, let me cut that down a little bit more. If you've been following me at all, then you know Stylish Shapes are my favorite. They are great for everything. Let me show you here, if you haven't seen them. You have your squares, your tags, your circles. It's just amazing. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, so I'm gonna pop that there. I'm gonna grab this old piece of tape here, hold it in place. Sometimes this mini wiggles on me. Oh, let me see. Here's my silicone craft sheet. I'm gonna pop that under and see if it doesn't hold it in place. Oops, let me get this set up a little bit better. All right, let me get it started. Ta-da. Yay. There we go. All right, we're gonna grab the larger circle and a piece of that gorgeous Designer Series paper to use on the back. Let's just grab a piece of this. I'm gonna look for somewhat of a, well, this is a pretty color. Let me see here. Let's come down to this kind of pinky one, pinky purpley one, and use that. I'm just gonna put this on the back of the sentiment, so I don't need a bunch. Look, it's just a mess over here, just a mess. My husband's always saying, I don't know how you can make such a mess so quickly. And I'm like, it's a special talent. I always say, Kevin, it's a special talent. So let's go ahead and pop this up here and go ahead and get this set up and run it through our die cutting machine. Oh, I'm gonna wrinkle that part, darn it. Okay, so this did work a lot better on this material with that silicone craft sheet underneath of it. So that is a good tip for you, that if your mini wiggles, like sometimes mine will, and slide a bit, put the silicone craft sheet under it. It worked like a charm. Okay, gonna add a little bit more color behind there, all using just very few products, which is what I like to do. Just like to use a little bit here and there. And I think I want that color. Oh, I love that little bit of that yellowish color right at the top. I think that is so saffron. Oh, how pretty. Okay, let me show you how to do the belly band. It doesn't get any easier than this. We're gonna fold our card over. I'm gonna just grab this band. I'm going to fold it. You want it snug, but you want it to be able to slide. And I'm going to fold it. Oh, way at the top there. There we go. Now, you don't need tear and tape for this. I like tear and tape for fun folds. I think it holds really well. I think it doesn't make a mess. You can get it exactly where you want it. So I'm going to put it right there on that edge. And then I'm going to bring it right here on this edge. My goodness, that hose coat is sliding everywhere. Let's just get it out of our way. Okay. So that is my favorite part about tear and tape, is it is no muss, no fuss. Then I'm going to take my fingernail and I'm just going to peel those strips off. And when you have fun folds, I'm telling you, people will open and close them a million times. There you go. Just that easy. Now, that doesn't look good yet. Doesn't look good yet, but it will look good here in a second, because I'm going to take 2 dimensionals. I'm going to put one to just secure that even more, and another one there. Take those little stickers off. And I'm going to pop my sentiment right there. I like using the designer series paper for my background because I like, it's not really centered. Let's see if I can lift that off. I like how it ties in all of the colors of the designer series paper. They all coordinate. But if you would prefer not to have that extra spot of color, you can just use your Blushing Bright or whatever color cardstock you're using as your background on this. You could have even tied in the floral background. Any of it would work. I like how that looks. That's just my preference. So I'm going to bring in the solid faceted gems here. And those colors, those coordinating colors are Balmy Blue, Night of Navy, Petal Pink, Melon Mambo, Pool Party, and Mossy Meadow. And you'll find those in the annual catalog. I actually really like the Petal Pink with this Blushing Bride, so that's what I'm going to use. But again, I think, you know, it's up to you. Everyone has their own taste, and that's what I love about paper crafting, is everybody has their own taste. Everyone knows exactly what they like. And that's what makes all of our cards, even though we all use some of the same products, it's what makes our cards so special and unique. So this is how the card will open. And of course it'll have our little piece in here, our note piece. So it stands up like this, and you could put the, if people wanted to display it, they could put your band right there, you know, like this. It's so hard to see. So that's today's card. This is the one I made the other day. And here are some of the other ones. So just this week, I have done nothing but use one stamp set, one designer series paper, and I could just keep going and going and going with different layouts and designs using just 2 products out of Celebration. So it's a good time if you need to stock up on dimensionals or anything along those lines. It's a great time to place that order and get some of these products. Anyway, look for a bonus blog post and card on Saturday. I will have something blogged for you. And I think it's going to be one of those strippy cards, which sounds terrible, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And so it'll be one of those. So look for that on Saturday. I'll be YouTube Live Monday at 3 Pacific Standard Time. I will be back here next Thursday at the same time. And if you want any more details, it's cardsbycoco.com. And thank you so much for joining me today.